Getting in my water before coffee. I always appreciate how pretty it looks before you mix it. The best. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video here on the Sam Cooks Kindness YouTube channel. I am Sam, and I am especially happy that you are here and watching this video today. I like to make these What I Eat in a Day videos to show what day-to-day eating looks like on a real life journey, health journey, just life, because we have to eat every single day and we don't always need to make things so complicated. So I am showing you how I tackle this. I have lost 70 pounds on my own health journey over an extended period of time. And in that time, I have learned quite a bit about myself. And that's kind of what all of this is really about, right? I have my iced coffee with almond milk this morning, which is especially needed because I have been watching a bit of Love is Blind, catching up, and it was kind of a mistake because I've had a few late nights recently, which I'm not used to. I usually go to sleep like not early, but like not 11, 12 o'clock. So hence the tired eyes. I don't want to make the beginning of this video too chatty, so I'm going to cut to breakfast right now. So fast forward to when I eat my breakfast. Look at all my tomatoes, guys. I have so many tomatoes. And that's not even all of them. I mean, it is all of them right now, but I had like 4 times as many last night. But I put my kids, they were in our pajamas, and I got overwhelmed by the amount of tomatoes in my house. So we filled up baskets and we literally just walked around and delivered the tomatoes to my neighbors. And my neighbors are not super communicative in this area, and it kind of makes me sad, but it was kind of funny to just like show up at people's doors and be like, do you want some garden tomatoes? I even had one person be like, do you like live near here? I was like, yeah, I live like 3 houses down, like for like the last 13 years. Like, come on. So I guess that's partially my fault too, but whatever. It was fun. It was funny to see my kids do that. I'm making my usual breakfast. I've eaten this every day for like the last 2 weeks probably. I have frozen squash. I do this with zucchini, but this happens to be tromboncino, which actually I have one right here right now. I'm going to shred this one up later on. This is a tromboncino squash, kind of similar to a zucchini, but they're kind of elusive, not very easy to find unless you grow them. So I have little cupcake tins of those, throwing 3 in here, and then I'm going to microwave this for 2 minutes so they're not just giant ice cubes. I've made a version of this so many times, and I don't really want to bore you with the details again. I don't know how repetitive this is starting to feel for you guys, but essentially I'm making myself a bowl of oatmeal. I'm going to add in some Earth Chimp protein. This is my favorite one. I basically use this every single day. I have another one coming today, which is good because I'm running super low. I'm going to top it with some frozen fruit, and I'm going to mix it up really good. Probably top it with some of my soy yogurt as well. The reason why I add in the veggies, I was on a cauliflower rice kick for a while, but since I have so much squash, now I'm using squash. And it actually like blends in super well. I was never really like a zucchini and oatmeal person before, but I like it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to increase the volume so that I feel more full, but lower the overall calorie density. Protein is important to me right now. I'm making sure I'm shooting for around 100 grams of protein, which is what I need for my body according to my dietitian. And so, that's just what I'm doing for me, but the protein powder helps. I'm always looking for lower calorie dense proteins to get in because it's easy for those numbers to climb as I'm trying to reach my protein. So I'm very aware of that. Mixing this up with water. This is like the easiest breakfast ever. You can do this as an overnight oat as well, which is what I do when I work long shifts. I'll make a batch of overnight oats, but there's really no excuse not to get like a good hearty high protein breakfast in to start your day when it can take like less than 5 minutes to make, right? She's nice and microwaved, and now I'm going to top her off with just a little bit of flaxseed for health. Stir that in, and my homemade soy yogurt. And that's how I'm starting my day, with this delicious filling bowl of oatmeal. Hello again. Did I have a good breakfast? I know I did, because I eat like the same thing most days because I like it, and that's cool. But the thing that I want to talk about today with you guys, oh my goodness, what's my hair doing today? I don't know. It is what it is. So the thing that's been on my mind recently is how to start to act as your own best supporter, your best cheerleader, your coach, right? Because yes, it's great to have accountability, and accountability is honestly like a huge factor in a health journey. A lot of times you just need somebody to like talk to report back to, and that's where like accountability and coaching can be so helpful. But I want to give you some tips, if that's just not in your budget right now, of how you can do this for yourself, how you can be your own coach. And there's a couple things that I think are key to this. The first thing is learning to celebrate every single little win. I don't care how small it is, I don't care how silly that you feel, you are going to give yourself that pat on the back and you are going to celebrate every tiny little positive step that you take. Did you put your sneakers on that morning? When? Did you drink some water before coffee? When? Did you step on the scale to collect data, even if it didn't go down? When? You are celebrating every single thing, because when you have that positive reinforcement, it helps keep the ball rolling when you're on a health journey. So you are celebrating every single thing. You ate veggies with a meal. Great job. You worked out, you went for a walk, you, whatever it is, you celebrate that win as if it is the most amazing thing you have ever done in your life. And then you look forward to celebrating the next one. And yes, it feels silly, especially when you've never done it before, but it is so important to build up that confidence and to keep that ball rolling. The next thing, most important thing in order to be your own coach, is to really get honest with yourself and learn how to do a full self-assessment. How can you be so curious about what's going on in your life? Whatever goal it is you have to reach. This is not necessarily even like a weight loss thing only. You can use this in all other aspects of your life. You need to be able to sit down with yourself, especially when you're feeling like you're stuck or you're having a hard time, and to actually think through logically what is going on. Forget the emotional side of it. Get curious. Why isn't the scale moving? What am I doing wrong? What have my days looked like in the past week? Sit down, self-assess, see what's happening. I did this with myself recently after vacation because I realized I was falling into a habit of evening snacking. I just got off my schedule after vacation, and as I've gotten home, I noticed that after I ate dinner, even if I had like a planned dessert, I was still like wanting to eat something at night and oftentimes giving into that. And I know that's holding back any kind of progress that I want to be making. So I sat down with myself and I said, why? Like, why are you wanting to do this? And what can you do to stop it, to put a stop to it without getting emotional, without saying, oh my gosh, like you're the worst. Why are you doing this? Like, no, there's no negative self-talk here. It's literally sitting down as if I was looking at somebody else and saying, okay, what do we do about this? Why is it happening? What do we do about this? So for myself, in this situation, I said, okay, every single night lately, I am wanting to snack, I'm giving in, and I'm finding myself making tomato toast from my garden like late night, and I should not be doing that because it's putting me out of any type of calorie deficit that I may want to try to get into. So how can I stop this in this moment? Okay, I could make sure I'm going to bed earlier because I've been staying up too late. And your body just doesn't stop getting hungry because it's late at night, right? If you're awake, you're gonna get hungry again. If I ate dinner at 6 o'clock and I'm up till like 12 or 1 o'clock, do you think you can go like that long of a period without actually starting to get hungry again? No. So that's one barrier. So go to bed earlier. The next thing is shutting down the kitchen. I was like, okay, after I'm done eating, whether it's dinner or dessert, I'm going to completely clean up the kitchen, because if my kitchen's clean, I'm less likely to want to dirty it. So early bedtime, cleaning up the kitchen. How else can I put barriers here? Don't buy the bread that I end up finding myself searching for. I could make myself an evening tea and I could turn it into a ritual, make a nice herbal tea, cuddle up with my book, have something to look forward to that is moving me in the right direction, right? So these are all the things that I've implemented for myself, and I have not had like that evening snacking since I've done this self-evaluation, I sat down, I thought about it logically. I said, this is not a habit I want to keep up. So how do I stop it? How do I stop this from happening? That's what I put in place, and that's what I'm continuing to do. And I'm not saying that that's going to be perfect and working forever, but just like every single other aspect of our lives, things are constantly changing, and we are able to reassess again. So if in a month I'm finding that I'm falling back into that same habit, I can sit down, I can have that talk with myself, and then I can find a new plan. What am I going to implement to stop this from happening again? And that's what you have to do with whatever it is that you're feeling like, I'm not getting to the gym. Why am I not working out? What are the reasons that I am not doing the thing I want to do? And how can I make it even easier? Or how can I put something there to stop the habit that I don't want in order to move forward, right? Thinking logically. Lastly, to be your own coach kind of rolls off of those first two. And this is losing that emotional attachment, working more towards positive self-talk and not being so self-critical in an emotional way. Thinking of your life as a collection of data when it comes to whatever goal you're trying to reach. Say it's weight loss or a health goal. The scale is data. How many times you exercise is data. Your meals are data. Like, keeping track of these things and looking at them in a way that's not emotional and is more just getting curious and not so critical is going to be how a coach is looking at you, a good coach, because a good coach is not looking at you with judgment. They're looking at you with curiosity. Why do you have the behaviors you have currently? How can we get you to the behaviors you want to have later on, right? We want to be curious about it. We want to think about the why behind things and the systems that we can put in place to move you in the direction of your goals. So don't be critical with yourself. Just think of your journey that you're on as a collection of data, and then look at the data and say, all right, things are moving in a positive direction, or there's some things that we could change. Let's move in another direction, right? Last thing that I want to say about how to be your own coach is patience. Everybody wants that quick fix. Everybody wants to lose 10 pounds in a week, and it's just not realistic. And we all know this logically, that these quick fixes are never the way, but we all still want them. So patience. When you're acting as your own coach, you have to think about the long game. You are going to accomplish more in a year than you're going to in a week, and that's hard to wrap your head around sometimes, but you have to be patient. You can't expect to see a change in a week. You shouldn't be trying to change anything until you're at least a solid month in, and then looking at all that data you collected. You can say, okay, things are moving the way I want them to, or they're not moving the way I want to, and then you can change it. But you gotta play the long game. So that's how I've been acting as my own coach recently, and I feel like I'm in a really good headspace for moving forward. And those of you that have been here for a while, I have lost 70 pounds. I still technically am in like an overweight category for my height. I feel really good about myself. I feel really confident. I feel really healthy. I feel really strong. But I'm also very curious, like, what can I achieve? Like, how much muscle can I grow? Like, how healthy can I be overall? How can I keep my bones nice and strong as I age? Like, things like that are important to me. And just because you hit a goal that you have doesn't mean that you're not going to evolve and have other goals. So yeah, that's my 2 cents for this morning. Hope it was helpful. Now let's go eat some lunch. I am about to head downstairs to get my workout in for the day before my kids' camp is over. But I want to be able to throw together lunch pretty quickly when the time comes. So I am chopping up some sweet potatoes into like fry shape, and I'm going to pop them in the microwave in my microwave steamer so that they are mostly cooked. By the time I want to eat lunch, I can just throw these into the air fryer with probably some tofu, and then I'll pair it with some veggies, and that will be my easy lunch for the day. So I have a second before I head downstairs, so I am prepping in advance so that I can get it done fast. Workout is done, and I am just continuing on with my lunch prep. So I'm tossing those potatoes from the microwave into the air fryer. I have about a half a block of tofu here. I'm going to just cube this up, toss that in too. maybe sneak a couple. I'm just gonna season this up. This is just a blend that I got locally. It's just like salt and seasonings, very generic. And then I'll probably add a little nooch on top too. Nooch. And we're gonna air fry this. So for my veggies, it's gonna be garden stuff because I am swimming. So I'm gonna have some tomatoes. I'm just gonna slice these and then season them. And then I have tons and tons, basically an endless supply of shishitos. So I'm gonna toss these on my griddle just to get them cooked and browned, no oil or anything. Just literally just throw them on the skillet until they're softish. Sprinkle them with some salt and just, you know, eat the whole things. So that's gonna be my veggies. I got my potatoes, I got my tofu, you know, simple ingredient style meal, but this is basically how I do most of my lunches. It's either leftovers or it's like potatoes, tofu, veggies, and simple, easy, delicious, and nutritious. And there it is. That's my lunch. Air fried tofu, sweet potatoes, a bunch of tomato and shishitos from my garden. I'm gonna add a bit of flaky salt and some pepper over these, and a little bit of hot sauce that I got from the farmer's market. I got some of this hot sauce. It's sweet and spicy and delicious. Gonna put that over my potatoes, and that is my lunch. I also have some barbecue sauce. I also got this from a farmer's market, and some mustard for dipping my sweet potatoes. It is dinner time and I'm throwing together something quick and easy. I have collected a whole bunch of veggies. I've got kale, green beans, carrots, peppers, cabbage, some mushrooms from the farmer's market, green onions, and we're gonna make a soba stir fry. I'm gonna use this Gardein chicken strips for our protein, and then I'm just gonna wing a sauce. I don't even know what I'm putting in it yet, but we will find out. I got the veggies cooked up. The soba is almost done. And for the sauce, I decided we're going to do a combo of rice vinegar, miso, gochujang, and coconut aminos in no particular order or amount. We're just going to kind of wing it until it tastes good. Get a little bit of spicy, get a little sweet from this, get a little tang from this, and it should just kind of come together and hopefully be tasty. I also have Thai basil from my garden, a lot of Thai basil, so I'm going to give this a good rinse, and I'm going to put some in it and put some fresh on top as well, so this should make it taste so delicious. So noodles, sauce, and we give it a mix. So there is my finished plate. I got my soba, I got all those veggies in there, some of that vegan chicken, that light sauce on top. I'm going to top it with some sriracha and call it a meal. It is the next day, so I'm taking a minute to wrap up this video. We ended with dinner. I did end up having 3 small dates with a little bit of dark chocolate melted in there as a dessert later on. Totally forgot that I was filming when I was eating that until after the fact. So here we are telling you about it. And so that was everything that I ate in a day after those dates. I did have an herbal tea, and I worked on a little bit of editing in the evening, and then I wrapped up my day. So I felt like it was a pretty delicious day of food, and I hope that you got something out of our little talk about how to act as your own coach. If you do feel like you need a little bit more help, but you're just not quite in the market for a one-on-one coach at this time, I do have a group here on YouTube that you can join. Hit the join button. It's called the Kindness Crew, and it will get you into our private Facebook community where we have lots of discussions. You can post in there for support. You can share your meals. We share recipes. We chat in group settings on a couple Zoom meetings every single month, and we have a few different fun things that go on in there. So check that out if you need something that is a bit more budget friendly, but you still want that support. Otherwise, I hope that you can take the tips that I shared today and put them into action on your own health journey. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you never miss another one, and I will see you in the next video.